live on yours? Test 1 2 1 2. Cat on my face.
Yes, that's lovely.
It's extremely windy today, and this is called a windsock.
And it is.
We are checking to see if we are live first, and then once we know whether we're live, then we'll start moving around the rig. And if you're tuning in and you actually can hear me, I am live from the Catoosa Test Rig Facility in Howlett, Oklahoma, not Catoosa, Oklahoma. It used to be in Catoosa, Oklahoma. Learned that this morning. We're just checking to see if we're actually live before we start walking off. This is the V-Door Locksmith Show. I am your host, David Gibson. The wind is blowing pretty hard. But, like I said, this is the V-Door Locksmith Show, where we are unlocking the secrets to success in the oil and gas industry. One interview, one technical presentation, and one technical screw up at a time. I don't know which camera to look at, which lens to so much as look at. If you guys are watching in VR, please let us know. To watch on VR, you got to go over to the YouTube channel. The YouTube. We are live on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you are watching us live on LinkedIn, let us know. Somebody go over to YouTube and make sure the YouTube thing's working. Do what? All right. So somebody on LinkedIn, do me a favor. Let us know if the YouTube 360 VR live stream is working. Just give us a quick little comment. That would be of huge help because that's the main reason everybody's watching. We've got the camera set up, and we really want to be able to see that. Once again, oh, this is so great. Yes, it's working. Right? We're pushing the technical limits of what's possible. Now, there is a lot of wind blowing for the two-dimensional stream here, right? Looking at this camera, right? We've got the windsock to be able to help with the wind noise, but with the other camera, we don't have the same thing. So, anyways, guys, let us know where you're watching from. I don't have the computer in front of me, so I can't put all that stuff up on the screen, but let us know where you're watching from. This is if you're your first one to be able to watch, let us know. With that, I'm going to introduce our co-hosts of the day, right? We've got Dwayne and Justin here from Catoosa Test Facility. Thank you guys for letting us do this. We really do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to have you out.
I know both of these guys are super excited to be on camera today. And so, Dwayne, thanks for having us out here. We really look forward to learning some of the stuff about the rig. What can you tell us about the Catoosa Test Facility?
Well, we're really excited to have you guys here today. And
look at any camera you want. There's so many of them.
I was looking at her the whole time, and I thought we were live on there, but I guess we're live over here. But no, Catoosa Test Facility was originally in Catoosa. It was originally ran by Amoco for many decades, actually. And it was moved out here in 2012 and became privately owned and operated at that point. We've got 3 different test rigs. All of them have top drives. They're fully operational, full mud rig systems. We have 17 open test wells right now with surface casings. And we do allow any type of drilling, horizontal drilling. We test anything downhole. We will give it a try.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. All right. Well, if everything's good, I think we'll go ahead and start the tour. Has anybody commented yet on whether the VR stuff is working? All right. Well, then. All right, hold on. My alarm on my phone is going off for some reason. Can't have that. Okay. It's turned off now. Go back to this. And I think that screwed it up. Maybe not. I don't know. Yep. That just ended the live stream on that part.
Yeah. Eddie said the sound on YouTube isn't nearly as good as LinkedIn is.
Oh, wow. Well, it just stopped, so... All because I had an alarm set on my phone. All right.
So we're having small technical difficulties, y'all, but we'll get back to it.
There we go. So, should be working now. All right. Let's get to it. All right, you guys take us on a tour, and show us around the rig a little bit. All right, here we go, everybody.
Who's going to be talking? Hand them the mic.
Okay. There, Dwayne, you can talk as we walk.
Talk as we walk. Well, we're walking down to the M37 rig, and it is a walking rig. Hopefully we can show the walking feet as we get back down on the floor. This rig has 3 shakers, 2 centrifuges. Right now we don't have the mud system going. All of our cuttings get containerized and hauled off to a landfill. And Justin here, I'm going to be handing this off a lot to Justin because he's our facility manager, and he was a driller before then, and he can operate all 3 of these rigs, and he's been at this location since we opened.
Justin, what can you tell us a little bit about this area where we're standing right now?
In front of us is the 3 shakers we have on this rig. That's what we use for solids control. The drilling mud comes down through the return flow line and is distributed in between whichever shakers we have open. Normally there's shaker screens on them. We're not using them for what we're doing right now, so they're just not there. The shaker screens lay flat on them. The shakers, when we turn them on, vibrate, and the solids come off the end of the shaker down into the bins that are directly beneath us, and the mud falls back down through the screen and goes back into the main mud system to be recirculated and ran back down hole.
All right, let's take a walk to where the mud would go to next.
The pit directly beneath us is the sand trap. The mud settles into this pit. There's no agitator or anything in it, so the solids can settle out. Then it stair steps into the next pit, which is a shell pit. It's the same thing. It's another place for mud to settle the solids out. Every pit from there on through has a stir in it to keep the mud agitated and in good condition so that we can run it back down hole.
All right.
Right behind us are the 2 centrifuges that we have on this rig. We use them to help thin the mud down if we do get high solids in it or if our weight starts getting up high. There's a pump that sucks the mud out from the shell pit and the sand trap. It goes through the shaker, which is through the centrifuge. It basically takes all the solids out of the mud and you're left with almost straight water, and it recirculates it into the system to help thin the mud down.
Excellent. So what happens with all this stuff that's up here on the top of it? Just sits there?
Yeah, it just kind of sits there. When you're actually circulating, it mixes in when the mud flows.
Looks like what the top of my coffee would look like.
Yeah, it's been sitting for a little while. We haven't circulated and got it mixed back in yet.
No worries. All right, so let's walk down and see some of these that are agitating the. Whoops. So yeah, we can see there now. There's a.
Yeah, this is the first pit that has an agitator in it. And there's an agitator in this one, and it continues to stair step into the next one. It has an agitator in it. The next one doesn't stair step into the main suction pit. There's a flow line that goes in between the 2 because it's 2 separate pits. So there's a pipe that actually runs in between the 2.
Excellent. All right, take us to the next spot, sir. Hopefully, if you guys are watching, that you could still see the VR stuff. All right, where are we headed to next?
We're headed to the main suction.
Main suction.
This is the main suction pit. It has 2 stirrers in it to keep everything mixed together. We can actually mix mud directly into these pits. This is the pits that the mud pumps pull directly from to pump the fluid down hole.
Excellent. So if you guys are going to pump a sweep, where do you mix that at?
In the premix, that's where we're going next.
Oh, fancy that. Oh, we're going to take a quick look down inside. Main suction. That was the title of my last live stream. All right, here we go. Going down to the premix. We got more? Okay.
The small pit we're standing above right now is the premix. There's a caustic barrel right there that we use to mix caustic soda. It raises the pH of the mud, which goes down for various reasons, including bacteria eating the mud when the mud gets where it settles out and gets hot. The main suction pit is where we mix the majority of our mud. We'll mix a pill of roughly 80 barrels and pump it over into the main suction pit from the premix. Depending on what we're doing, we can also run an LCM pill from right here. The mud pumps normally suck from the main suction, but we can also pull from the premix to run like an LCM pill or anything like that without mixing it in with our main mud for various reasons. Different people want to do different things. We can also run a heavy mud sweep to help clean the hole. It's just a heavier weighted mud. It's easier to push all the cuttings out of the hole.
And what's this behind us?
Behind us we have the water tank. We have 2 wells on location that we pull fresh water from, and we keep the water tanks full and recirculating all the time. And whenever we go to mix mud, there's a pump that goes in between the water tank and where we're at right here. The valves at my feet are where the water actually comes in at. We'll fill the pit with fresh water and then build up the mud from there.
Excellent. All right. I guess we're headed downstairs next. I will put both things in one hand, so proper handrail safety.
That's the mud hopper. That's where we mix all of our mud products at. There's a pump that pumps.
Here, let me stand over here.
And you dump all your dry products in through the hopper, and as the fluid goes through the bottom, it mixes it all in. There's a jet in there, so it has a higher velocity and it stirs everything up and shears it as it goes through. There's also a fan right here to help keep dust down, so you're not choking as you mix everything.
It's a good idea.
Anytime you're working down here mixing mud or anything, you're required to wear a mask just to keep the solids and everything that you're breathing in down. Depending on what you're mixing, you need to wear an apron and rubber gloves and stuff like that too, depending on how harsh of a chemical it is.
It's not the kind of stuff to bathe in.
No, depending on where you're at, the bentonite that you use to mix mud with is also the same mud they use in spas.
Really? I never go to a spa, so well, there that.
Me neither, but I've read.
All right, where are we off to next, sir?
Into the pump room.
All right, off to the pump room, everybody. Do what?
You might warn them it's a little loud.
Okay, it's going to be a little bit loud, you guys.
No, it's not loud in here yet. We don't have the pumps running.
Oh, we don't have the pumps on, so everybody, it's not going to be loud. All right.
That's our big triplex mud pumps. They're capable of flowing. We flowed up to 1,200 gallons a minute with them, and they're capable of up to 5,000 psi. The main suction is the bottom, and the high pressure is the stuff in red up on top. The fluid comes in through the piping in the wall right here, goes through the charge pump. The charge pump keeps the mud pump from sucking air. That way you don't have any air pockets or anything in the mud. It's mainly just to keep it primed up. And once the mud pump gets going, it's capable of creating its own suction, but you need to leave the charge pumps on just to maintain it.
Excellent. Let me step over here and get a shot with the 360. So I can squeeze through here. See how this is, guys. We'll put that camera lens right over there. You can see that? I'll walk back here a little bit too.
These mud pumps are powered by electric motors. That's the big electric motors. They are 1,600 horsepower. Most of the other pumps that we have on location are ran by diesel motors. 3 of them, actually all 4 of them now are ran off Cat 399s. So these are a little quieter than the louder ones, just because it's a big diesel motor there.
Yeah.
These have a this is a big blower fan that keeps the electric motor cool. That's the loudest part of anything in here, is that blower running.
Pretty big blower.
Yes, it is.
I need to hook that one up on the AC in my house.
No, you don't want it on the AC house. Blow your ductwork smooth out of your walls.
All right, where are we headed to next, sir? Okay, we'll head back that way. Any comments on anybody that's out there watching? Let us know if the VR is still working. Let us know if the VR over on YouTube is still working. I guess I could probably go ahead and check my phone. Says it's working, says it's live. I just don't know on y'all's end if it is. Let us know if you guys are enjoying this, by the way, as well. Might have to do this one again. All right, here we go.
Vfd House or up on the rig floor?
We walk through the VFD pretty quick, and then we'll head up to the rig floor. Okay. Save the best part for last, everybody. Ooh, it's nice and cool in here. All right, so what are we looking at, sir?
This is the VFD house. This is where every bit of electricity from the rig comes out and goes up to whatever it's functioning. The generators are behind us. They're rather loud. We'll probably skip going in there. But we have 3 generators on this rig, and all 3 generators are linked together in here. And everything in here has its own circuit breaker and the power converters and choppers and every bit of power is right here.
So we could definitely start up a microwave with this, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll take a little walk down here with the 360 camera. Get you down here. It is significantly cooler inside here. I don't see, does this one have, oh no, that's just information. I was trying to see, I thought it might have the AC. But it is very cool in here. This is where probably anybody that's working out of the rig is going to want to hang out when it's hot outside. All right, hopefully you guys got a good look. The 360 stuff's still working. Now for the best part, we're going to head on up to the rig floor. The part that everybody's been waiting for.
Should we talk about the substructure a little bit? Okay, be quiet.
Okay. All right, so what are we looking at up under here?
This is the substructure for the rig. This is a Neighbors M rig. It does have a walking package on it. That's what the big yellow pieces are. There's 4 yellow hydraulic cylinders of feet underneath this rig. The big center part is on each one is a hydraulic cylinder. It'll actually pick the whole rig up, and you can walk it about 3 feet per step.
Wow. And is it unlimited walking distance?
You can only walk as long as the power cords will reach.
Oh, that's fair enough. Just keep the power cords close enough and we can walk this thing all the way down to Houston?
Not quite, but I'm sure if you took long enough, you could. You're also supposed to be able to run it off of there's a little diesel motor on the other side of that right there. You can run it off of that too, but it's way easier to run it off of the main hydraulic system that's powered by the generators.
What's that big tube in the center coming down?
The big tube in the center is the riser. That's what we're drilling through.
And the one next to it?
Which one next to it? Oh. The big tube in the center with the flange in the middle of it is the riser. The one next to it without a flange is the mouse hole. That's where we put the joints of pipe that we're getting ready to make up and run into the hole, or when we're pulling it out, we can put stuff in there before we lay it out the door as you switch stuff in between the winch line and the blocks.
What's the tube at the bottom of the riser that goes back there towards the floor?
That's actually a drain that comes from the floor down to here, so that any mud that you have up on the floor, you can direct toward that drain so it'll get recirculated back into the system.
So if somebody's sweeping up there, if they're sweeping or squeegeeing liquid up on the floor, that's the spot they're squeegeeing it towards?
That's the idea.
That's the idea, at least. More people need that in their tour for their daily work.
Yeah, it doesn't always work that way. The wind blows and moves stuff around. But
Are you telling me that rigs get dirty?
they get dirty all the time.
All right, let's head up to the next spot. Where? I don't even know where our camera person went. Oh, she's already up. Okay. Enough of this yakking. Let's get up to the rig floor. Oh, yeah. And this big fancy piece of machinery, even though it's just kind of stagnant right now, what does it do?
This is a Pragma. This is what we use to lift pipe up to the rig floor. The center section that's white actually raises up and goes all the way up the slide, which is a V-door, to the rig floor without...
To the what?
The slide, which is the V-door.
To a V-door. Ooh.
It raises all the way up, so we're not actually lifting anything up to the rig floor on a winch. It's all securely set down in there. There's little pins that come up on either side of it to keep the pipe or tubular or casing or whatever it happens to be from falling off. The yellow piece that sticks up above everything is a skate. You use it to push everything up toward the end of it and slide it out the end. You can actually latch onto it with the elevators from on there.
Excellent. Is that walking part? Is that the other part of the walking machine? That diesel set up there?
That's the HPU that runs what's up on the rig floor, and if you swap it around, it'll run the walking package.
Excellent. All right, now we can head up to the rig floor. We had to talk about the V-door and the Pragma first. There we go. Here, like most directional drillers, we'll stand right here behind the driller. All right, so where are we at now?
We are in the driller's box. The chair right in front of us with Andy in it is the driller's chair. That's where you control everything going on in the rig.
Looks like playing a video game to me.
On this rig it is. Pretty close to it. This rig's joystick controlled. There's no brake handle on it. It's all electric and hydraulic. The joysticks control most of the functions for the drawworks. The up and down is on the left-hand side, and the top drive controls are on the right-hand side with the link tilt and forward and reverse on the rotary. The computers on either side control the mud pumps and the various other functions like tongs and the rotary table.
How long does it take to be able to learn how to control that?
To do it right?
I mean, I could jump in there right now and show you how to do it wrong, that's for sure.
It takes a while to learn, depending on who you talk to, years.
Fair enough. All right, let's tell us about the electronic panels over there, and then we'll head off to the rig floor. We got over there on the far side. Whoops. Come back over here. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me check the YouTube. I just want to see if this thing's working. All right. Not what I wanted to see. Not what I wanted to see. Oh, okay. All right. Well, bear with me for now. We'll check it later. God, I'll just have to wait in suspense. All right. So what do we got over here on this side?
This is the electrical panel that controls everything up here on the rig floor. It's mainly for the drawworks and the top drive controls.
I see that they're all labeled with those exact same things you just said. So we're running 480 volts and 600 volts?
Yes. The generators put out 600 volts and it's drop down depending on what we're running. It'll drop all the way to 120 volts to run the computer.
Excellent. All right, now let's step outside. Let's see the best part everybody wants to see. Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm on the rig floor. Woo-wee. All right, Justin, what's this fancy blue piece of equipment sitting here next to me?
That would be the drawworks. The two electric motors behind us are the drive motors for the drawworks. Back there, this is the gearbox that combines the power from both motors. And then there's a shaft that goes in between there that turns the drawworks drum.
All right, let me get you guys.
Underneath each one of these covers is disc brakes on this rig. There's 4 calipers on either side that are standard operation and 2 emergency calipers on them.
Like Brembro brakes?
Not quite. They're a little bigger.
You guys see down in there from the 360 VR, hopefully. Be able to get a good look at that. All right. What's this fancy yellow thing in front of me?
This is a hydraulic winch that is rated for man rider. There's 3 hydraulic winches on this rig. All 3 of them are actually rated to have a person on, rated as a man rider, however you want to say it. This one, the way they set it up is kind of wrong. It just works on the back side of the derrick. So if you have anything that you need to work on the back side of the derrick, this is the winch you use. The other 2 winches that are on the front side, closer to the V-door and the handrails and everything over there, are the ones that we use 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the one behind the rig floor ever been used.
We have one set up like that on our other 2 rigs that's on a boom pole that pivots. And the only time we ever use them is when we're working on anything on the rig floor that's heavy and we have to move it.
All right, let's go over here and watch these guys make a connection. We'll be sure not to get too much in front of the driller.
Go all the way
over there.
Go all the way over there.
Go all the way over, but don't get in front of his line of sight.
Yep.
We'll step all the way over here. As you can see, they are tripping in the hole. So what are they about to do?
They're getting ready to push the slips in. That's the slips set in. Top drive's going to go on down. He's going to open the elevators, raise the top drive back up, and latch another joint or another stand.
I'm going to get a whole nother stand. What's that big red thing over there on the side?
That big red thing is an NOV ST80. It is a big pipe wrench. It'll spin the pipe together and torque it.
Would you call it an iron roughneck?
Yes.
All right. Looks like they're about to bring another stand over. There it comes. Sorry if I'm holding the 360 camera a little too close there, you guys. So with this ST80, then you don't have to use the pipe tongs, correct?
That is correct. Anytime you're putting pipe together, you can use the ST80. If you're putting a bit together and certain tools, they don't want you to use the ST80 or any iron roughneck on it for that matter. the ST80 won't get close enough to the floor to make up a bit. And certain tools, the clamping force of any iron roughneck can egg or distort the outside of the tool.
Been there before. So what's this big yellow contraption that's coming down towards us right now?
That would be the top drive. This rig has a can rig top drive on it. It's a 275 ton. It's all electric and hydraulic. That's what turns the pipe, puts out the torque to keep drilling down hole. The bottom piece that's red is the bottom of the bells in the elevators. Above that, the piece sticking down, the piece of pipe sticking down is the quill. The square block is a grabber box. It's used as a backup wrench, basically for the top drive, so you can torque it into the pipe to make a connection, so you can flow through the pipe with the top drive.
Well, now that we've gotten essentially a complete tour of the rig, anything else you'd like to tell us about being out here at the Catoosa Test Facility?
It's great. Y'all can come out here and test anything you want. We'll run it down a hole for you.
I've been out here once before testing. We were out on that rig over there. What are the different names of the rigs you got?
This is rig M37. Our original rig is a double. It's rig 11D.
Which one is that?
That's the one right over our heads, right
Okay.
here. The rig in the background is rig 1T. It is a mechanical triple.
What does it mean to be a mechanical triple?
This rig is all electric. That rig's mechanical. It's got floor motors on it. It's all chain driven. It's got a real brake handle.
Woo-wee. So I bet you guys like using this one, huh?
I would prefer that one.
Oh, really?
This one just doesn't feel right.
What else can you guys test out here?
We've tested bits, motors, MWD tools. We've tested different kinds of drilling fluids, packers, casing running tools. We've ran different types of casing just to see if it can be done on land.
Rotary steerable tools?
We've ran rotary steerables,
Wireline?
LWDs, wireline. We've ran coil tubing. Pretty much anything you can think of that you can drill an oil well or gas well with, we've tested some kind of form of it out here.
What kind of advice would you give to a company that wants to come out here and test?
Just give us a call. We'll figure something out.
Anything they should probably think about beforehand, like make sure everything's ready to go?
It's nice if everything works when they bring it out here.
And then other than, testing stuff, y'all have also got accommodation here, right? What's the accommodation stuff like?
Yeah, we have a guest house on location that all of our customers are welcome to stay at if they want to. It's just a little old farmhouse that we converted. It's got 3 bedrooms upstairs. One of the bedrooms is big enough, it's got 2 beds in it. There's a full kitchen downstairs, 2 bathrooms, and 2 dining rooms. We also have a regular rig bunkhouse that's capable of sleeping, I think it's 8. And then like a rig manager's house that goes with that. It doesn't have a bedroom in it, but it's got an office and kitchen type area in it. So if you have 2 different groups of people, we got places for people to stay.
And then a workshop and a conference room?
Yeah, we've got our main shop building that's got a 5-ton overhead crane in it and a big drive-through 14-foot doors that we can bring your tools in and work on them inside if need be. That main shop also has our offices in it. We've got another smaller workshop that we mainly use as storage up by our Rig 1T, but it's got our mud products stored in it, some parts for the rigs. And there's also a big drive-through walkway in the middle of it where we can put tools or MWD kit boxes or anything up there, especially if we're working on that rig. It's just closer and easier to use.
Well, thank you so much for the tour, sir. I do appreciate it. We'll go ahead and get signed off here, I think, after this last little video expose. Getting some good footage for you guys. Hopefully you guys could give me a shout afterwards and let us know what you thought. If there's anything else y'all want to see, I think I might convince them to like give me a shot at being a floor hand. Think I could mess anything up?
We can show you how to do it.
All right. For everybody out there watching, I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. It's been a really exciting opportunity. Hopefully the 360 VR stuff is still working. If not, I'm going to stand up here and take some regular video and upload that a little bit later. But thank you guys all for watching. I really do appreciate it. This is the V-Door Locksmith Show. I'm your host, David Gibson. And as always, know your industry. Press the button in a second. I'm going to let the VR live keep going, though.